How are you guys doing? Today on Age of Empires Mobile, we're going to be covering some of your suggestions that I actually personally like on the Discord that we're going to go through and actually showcase us upvoting them too. So if you guys want to upvote them and try and get these in the actual devs' eyes, hopefully these suggestions come into the game and improve everyone's experience. Because let's be honest, it is a very fun game, but the problem at the same time is it's such a hard grind and it's kind of complicated for a lot of new players coming to this type of genre that have never played this game type before. So what we're going to do, just to kind of make things nice and easy, I'm going to give one easy suggestion straight away that I think everyone will all agree with, because that should be in there, and if we see it, we'll see it. But this is going to be my suggestion straight away for Age of Empires. If you're listening, devs, you should be listening. Bring back the good old Battlefield Survivor. That one game mode I could stream and just play the game even once I completed all of the activities forever, and it allowed me to play your game live and interact with the audience, because between games I could back out, answer questions, and carry on playing. And the thing is, with Battlefield Survivor, it was really good because, as you guys know, when it first came out, you was able to actually earn a chest which allowed you to either start up your Joan of Arc, or you could have used it to actually start up Josephine, which was really good for free-to-play players. This honestly would allow you, depending on what role you were, and to be honest, a little bit lucky in the tavern later down the line. My Josephine, as we look at the moment, she's 2.5 stars, and that's without any of those chests. If you look at my Joan of Arc, and some people are upset that I did this, but I have a 4-star almost Joan of Arc, which is crazy. I've almost got one commander maxed out, purely free to play. And the thing is, with Battlefield Survivor, which was really good, you can see down here on the hero screen, heroes had these abilities, and you could click on it and see what it was able to do and how it comboed with other abilities in Battlefield Survivor. And the thing what I think everyone was expecting, even if the devs didn't bring out brand new maps for the first, rotation for Battlefield Survivor, I think what a lot of players were expecting was to see stuff like Miyamoto, or even, Yode or El Cid, different heroes, just for example, that has that Battlefield Survivor locked, and they would unlock these heroes where you might have played the exact same maps and you had to go through normal, go through the hard, and go through expert again to earn all those chests for either a selection of 2 heroes. But at least you rotated the heroes that was able to play it, which would have spiced up the gameplay too, until brand new maps came into Battlefield Survivor. And that would have been obviously a massive update and a massive obviously love, because people would have loved the fact that now we've got new maps and a rotating hero base of Battlefield Survivor heroes that you could have used. So the first thing I would always suggest for everyone, I think everyone would love this, is bring back Battlefield Survivor. And just to kind of give a little bit icing on the cake, as I kind of said, the reward was a chest for 2 heroes. You could have kept, maybe for the first 2 seasons, a Josephine and Joan of Arc chest, meaning if you played through all the season and you completed it all both times, maybe you maxed out one of those heroes, which for free-to-play standards would have been an amazing grind and an achievement to feel that they earn a free hero, right? In the future, that could have changed, where you might have chosen Hammurabi, Cleopatra, right? And you kind of might have gone down that tavern, hero base, but allowing free-to-play players to work hard to get those heroes would be a really good way to actually make a fun game mode and a rewarding game system too back into Age of Empires Mobile. Because to be honest, the heroes is all good, everything is nice to have a 5-star hero, but as we've all learned, obviously the gear and mainly the rings is what really is going to dictate how powerful your matches are compared to others. I'm going to be real with you, especially with these skills being started up too. Just like, for example, my Mulan, right? I've been working on this Mulan. She's good to kind of go. I want to make her even stronger, and that's kind of what we're going to be working on maybe later down the line. But that just kind of gives it a good example of how much power is involved with just these gear slots and the ring, right? Compared to just having a hero free 5-star, right? So that's going to be my suggestion in there. So what we can do now is actually jump over to the good old Discord, right? Because with Discord here, we can actually showcase the, actual official Age of Empires Discord, right? And what we're going to do is do some nice movie magic and actually move myself over probably to the other side so we can actually see what's going on, right? So straight away, let's go from the 1st of February, and we're going to work down some of them with high, obviously, upvotes. And if it catches our interest, we're going to obviously like it, right? So the whole thing was to do with the Chinese New Year, and it was ended up as a disaster. Congratulations for your green transparent methods. Happy to leave this game. Enjoy your ghost town. So this is basically like everyone was really upset with the Chinese New Year, and I think Sagami's done a really good suggestion, which is down below, which we are going to read about, where we've just gone through a spenders event, and now I think there's a brand new top up event, and I'm gonna make my own video talking about that, don't you worry, because I've got my own personal thoughts on that too, and I'm not that happy with it either. So we're gonna go over and we're gonna explain what that is, but we'll hit it when we hit it. So please consider change the allies marked as yellow friendly on the map aren't attackable. It is harder to coordinate attacks and causes a lot of unnecessary friendly fire, and would like to propose this for KVK events. This is honestly one of the best things I've seen many times being suggested now, and I'm even going to uptick this just to showcase, look guys, if you see this one, uptick it, and if there's any similar ones, uptick it too. We love the fact that you can get all these alliances in an allied color. So everyone is basically allied up, and you can see, okay, Smash Squad 1 is orange, and obviously we're green, and the enemy are red, for example, right? It's easy to understand that, but the problem is a lot of the time you can still target orange marches, and it would be so much better if you're in an alliance and you're allied with other alliances, you shouldn't be able to target them, right? Just flat out stop targeting, because that would make it a lot more easier to coordinate, as Tizzer says, and as many players have suggested in Age of Empires Mobile. So moving down here, details you need to fix in-game chat censorship. This is another thing I do agree with. A little bit of the censorship in these games is questionable, but we're not going to go into the politics of it. I think everyone will agree with the whole chat system isn't perfect. It could definitely be improved, but the one thing is I personally stay out of world chat. I generally do, unless I say morning, good morning, and like just let everyone know we're up and about. But apart from that, we don't really talk too much in that chat because it's just a little bit weird. It can get crazy in there, but that's my personal opinion on that. Increase the rally limit. So this is going to be a really controversial one, but I actually don't feel like increasing it is going to be the answer, right? Because all that means is obviously more players can increase their unit cap and obviously join the rally. But the thing is, as we've noticed, like in our empire, you don't need just one rally, right? In an empire, there's more than one alliance, and if you actually have a really good understanding on how rallies work and how the rally turn-based combat goes for, honestly, a 4 rally and even a triple rally in certain scenarios is deadly. It's absolutely deadly against especially just one alliance trying to hold an imperial city, right? So we're going to see this maybe in the future when we have to invade. So far, we've had to defend in our mightiest empire, so we're not going to reveal any super secrets on what are the best rallies to do so. But yes, I kind of understand this. Maybe in the future where we get more and more troops, maybe down the line, and players are just kind of infinitely growing, increasing the rally limit in a future season would be a good call. I will say that. So like this point, I don't think it's good right now, but maybe in the future we could actually talk about this, right? So this one is talking about losing interest in the game. So this is going to be something really interesting because I am kind of full on board with what this guy is kind of saying, where the leveling up is a little bit of a grind. And yes, it is a grind to get them all the way up to 120, especially once you've got that, you're going to be working on your next set and your next set, because it's 3 heroes that get to 120, and it is a management game, and you have to figure out where you're going to be, basically allocating your time to level up this hero base to then work on the next hero base and work on the first hero's gear. And maybe we'll make a video on that. And tell me if you want me to make a video on time management. We could try and do that and see if it relays through well in a video. But then Apex Arena, military strategy, island tactics are also boring. These are zero tactics and all strategy involved in these. This is kind of true with, I feel like, the Apex Arena. So Apex Arena is a little bit of an annoyance because obviously you have your formation, which is just this diamond formation, and then it just kind of auto battles. I think what people would like to see in the future is just more spaces. So instead of having a diamond, why not create a rectangle? So with a rectangle, you could have each corner, which is 4 points. Then you can have the centers, which is another 4 points. And then you could have maybe one in the center, which is an additional point. With that, you could have really interesting formations where matches are set up in maybe corners or in big lines and tunnels, which creates different ways of engagement versus other units. So that could be a way you can improve Apex Arena, and I do agree with that. It's a little bit boring. Island Tactics, it is what it is. I think this is kind of one that you see in most of the game modes, and I would like to see military strategy come back in some way. I like the roguelike element, but it just needs some sort of spice added to it. Battlefield Survivor was super fun. Where did that go? I've already talked about this. You guys know my thoughts. This needs to come back because I honestly love to play in this game, and that honestly just allowed me to time sync as much as I wanted to, even if I wasn't getting rewards. It was just a fun game mode to play, and people like playing those game modes like Survival IO, even Rogue Survivor, right? Vampire Survivor 2. There's so many of them back that people play on Steam and on mobile. So I really do like this. I like the fact that people do like the game's artwork. You see the characters are thought out and stuff, and the average player honestly does have some success into the game, but allowing super spenders is kind of crazy at the same time. We kind of agree where he's going with this. So I like this. I kind of like this on the whole, you know, boundary. The thing is, the monotonous like tribe killing, it is what it is. It is like this in all games, but I am actually going to upvote this video because it is a really good kind of outline where Age of Empires Mobile for the first 3 months has been actually a pretty good game, right? It's been pretty good on launch, but then for some reason it's taken out elements that made it really good, and people are wondering when are those elements coming back, because we've had no information on it, and even me as a content creator have not had any information on that either. So I'd love to know what the timeline is for this, right? If we had a timeline of scheduled events, I'd love to do like an interview and do that with you guys, right? If we can do that as a really good video, right? And I think people would absolutely love that on the channel. So moving on, suggestion adding a one-tap option to halt marches. That is a really good one too. I don't know why that's not an option at the moment. So as you're marching, you can't just press a button that just stops immediately, like just hold, and that needs to be there. There's details, there's shout, but the thing is, like, the shout could be in the details area, right? It doesn't need to be here. It's an emotion. It's an emote, right? I don't really care about that. I kind of care about holding and maybe like march on attack. So there could be definitely improvement on the good old march movement on the game. So I'd love to see that. Love to see that one. Coming into Alliance Glory, it does need a little bit of a revamp. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not enjoying that event. It's so hard to get super high points without getting the literally spending ones or using your Empire coin ones to get the good points. I'm gonna be real, all of those ones are the best ones, but players don't want to do that. Players would rather obviously train troops and get good points still, even for lower ranking ones, because some players just can't physically do what they're asking for, right? Because that's like a spender level at the same time to be doing that on like a weekly basis. So I would like to see some sort of where they rebalance this. A good suggestion. I'm not going to upvote it, but I'd like the fact that it's being addressed in this video and obviously on the Discord here. Only allow the account with a certain age to teleport into KVK invaders or devout zone. This is kind of good because I like the whole thought of this. A lot of people don't realize you can do this and be kind of disgusting. So what you can do with the game is technically open up brand new farm accounts in your enemies, empire. And what you're able to do is at the start of technically a KVK, when you're going into like the major war zone areas, you could use your alt account, teleport into a really bad teleport area where you're taking multiple spots with resource nodes, and you can just block spots and stop people from actually teleporting. So I do think this needs to be addressed, where maybe a certain age on the account, maybe it's or certain power, or the way that it's match made, you have to be in the top like 5 or 10. I don't know. They need to think of a way to get rid of this, because it is a nasty thing that I think in the long run could hurt the game. And I don't think people really realize the disadvantage this can do on a large scale, on a super large scale. So I'd like to get it bit in the bud right now before it gets into that crazy state, right? This is the first one we've seen with a massive downvote. So we're going to actually read this. Please make it so war buffs primary troop unit number troop increase cannot be used within wonder contests. Within wonder contests, troops cannot be killed and gravely wounded. So the benefit that you get from buffs are greatly exacerbated with the wonder contest mode and leads to unfair advantages. For example, using war buffs in a normal battle and rallies increase not only the number of troops but the number of losses, so it's fairly balanced. Within the wonder contest mode, there's no negatives to the buffs, and I hope to take this change into consideration. So it makes sense what he's kind of saying. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. This might be controversial too, but I wouldn't actually mind if war buffs just wasn't allowed in the wonder contest. Just turn it off. Just make war buffs for PvP maybe, but at the same time people will be like, yeah, but that's the only mode where I can have really fun. But at the same time, why are you wasting buffs in a like 1 hour game mode? To me, it's just kind of crazy. So it's gonna be very controversial. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one in the thoughts down below. There's 16 downvotes on this, so a lot of people do disagree with that, right? How hard can make wonder event reports visible? And yes, I'm not even going to go into this any further, because you guys know I've said it myself. I don't understand why my wonder event fighting doesn't have its own category of reports where I'm able to see how good my marches are doing, because if I was able to do that, I can make so many more interesting videos on how kind of like PvP viable these are in this situation where you can go balls to the wall without any repercussions, right? And that is really good if you want war testing, not dueling testing, not theory crafting, but actual hard evidence on, okay, can this match actually take out these guys at this power? Well, we can see now, right? So I would love to see this. Everyone upvote this. It's on 45. It needs to be over 100 plus easy, right? And this is up here, right? So find it, the Kaladin. You can search it up here and you'll probably most likely find it. So coming down now with regards to upcoming migration, like to hear this, like to hear migration news, right? Because people are looking forward to the opportunity of either joining Empire 64 and even like other empires maybe splitting apart and finding somewhere new where they can find their own, family. Basically, they can start their own family and their own journey, their own empire, which is kind of cool that all these communities want to kind of maybe possibly start up. So I like the fact that we're talking about it here, right? Can you take the opportunity to clear inactive accounts? So not active for 2 months for holding the server. Then if when players come back to the game, they can relocate to an open server of their choice. Yes, this seems really good, because what you could actually do in theory is if a player started an account, say they did play for like 7 days or 14 days, maybe a couple of weeks basically, right? And they just didn't really mesh with the game straight away, and they just stopped playing for like 2 months, 3 months, and then they came back to the game and they wanted to actually give it a good go. Why not just allow them to teleport into a kingdom that's about 14 days of age, right? You can see how long they played on their account, so why not just go to a kingdom that's around that same timeline and just let them relocate for free? This would be a really good way for even just new players, well, not even new players, but returning players that want to kind of play the game to come back in. So I like this. I actually do like this potential choice coming in to the game. And some of the cooldowns in this game is really inconvenient and ruining play experience. Having a 1 hour cooldown for changing tiles is completely unnecessary. And yeah, that is a bit of an annoyance. It would be nice to see a change into the titles. I will give that credit there. So big shout out to that one. Please add KVK teleport here. Nice and simple. Yes, it could be easy. Just put the teleport menu in the actual Mightiest Empire instead in the chat. Could be a good one. So I like that. The Mightiest AE format is merit coins. So there's a major problem we're facing right now. He says there's a completely useless. We have the MEE. I got 1 million merits. I refreshed the shop, bought everything I can now, and I've got 785 merits left. And the thing is, he's not wrong, because you guys, if you remember, if you watch my live stream on the last actual Mightiest Empire I participated in, when it was Empire 64 versus Empire 25, I want to say. I think it was 25 or 35, right? Whenever we fought, when you watch me live stream, right, we had that same issue. I had so many merits left over, I could not refresh the shop any further and just get benefits for this. So the merit shop really does need some TLC. I'm going to upvote this and let's get this over 100 too, guys, because this is a massive deal. The fact that the shop has only got 6 items for one is a criminal thing. It could easily have 12 items in there for your account. Refresh it, you got another 12 items. Maybe give it 3 to maybe 5 refreshes tops, and you're good to go. I think everyone would be happy with that. They're definitely emptying out 1 million to maybe 2 million worth of merits, and obviously the whales, no matter what, will always max out the stocks. It's not about them, it's more about the lower players that are earning these high merits and just not getting any rewarded for it. So I like this. Really good suggestion, guys. Come on, let's get that one up there. Really quick one. I don't want to talk about that. That looks like Lubu talk, trash talk. Who cares about that? Add a feature for leaders to allow ranks below them to add update to Discord links. That's kind of cool. I like that little quality of life there, just to throw this one in. Why the hell can wonders, etc., be used to block attackers in KVK from relocating into their designated area? This gives defenders a huge unfair advantage. So this is one thing which is kind of crazy, because this is where we were kind of talking about it earlier with farm accounts, right? The thing is, a wonder is a structure that you can build, and you can strategically place this to block the maximum amount of teleports in an area while giving potential adjacent buffs. And that, I think, is fair. That is actually designed to be that. It's a PvP building at the end of the day. But the thing is, what's annoying is the farms, right? The actual fact that, like, the farm accounts and the alt accounts, those I think are the issues, right? Because generally the actual farms and stuff, it is what it is, right? Because normally they're just like it's a one building thing. I'm gonna be honest, it's one building, right, compared to potentially 20 to 30 buildings. So they need to address, I think, the first one over this one. This is a good shout. Potentially this could be just as bad. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. I personally haven't seen any issue with this in our Empire versus Empire, but that obviously gives me a bias. That's why I want your opinions down below, right? So moving down, we need extra time on the war stage. KVK 12 hours, 24 hours is good. Merits reset every Saturday and not Sunday. Like that. If we get more fighting, maybe the actual Mightiest Empire went for 2 days of fighting, where maybe the first day, yes, you capture it, and maybe once you capture it for that amount of time, it's locked until the next reset, or maybe 12 hours from there, right? And then 24 hours from there, you know what I mean? Like, and then you carry on fighting even further. I would love to see a 2-stage version of this Mightiest Empire where you do get 2 days worth of fighting, because that I think would be amazing. And if they mixed the merit shop with that, banging. We've got a really good Mightiest Empire little mini KVK game mode. I think people actually really are enjoying now, even though it's a little bit sometimes lopsided on the matchmaking, but that can be easily fixed in the future. But people are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it anyway when I've been playing it and watching it too. So let's move on. Let's keep moving on and conclude this video, because we don't want to go too long. We're almost at the 25-minute mark, and I just want to shout out everyone that's done a suggestion so far, right? But we've got one here for 100. Again, this is the reset on merits, so you can see this one has 100, and just like before, because it's the same one, 101. We're over there. The devs need to address the merit shop badly in this. We've got a 51 here. Would be extremely interesting to keep players engaged for a long time if at the start of each season you make Giants Raw event available again. And this is one thing I was also wanting to suggest to the devs, and someone's done it for me, which is amazing. And I do agree with this. The Giants Raw event, I believe, is coming back to Age of Empires Mobile. We just don't know when. And I think at the start of each brand new season is a perfect chance, right? Because basically the first season is until basically you capture the Imperial City, and then you've got a couple of weeks later, and then the brand new Generation 2 heroes come out, the brand new legendary advent wheel, right, where you get your Lubu, you get your Yodit, you get your Bellevue, you get your Boudica, right, Octavian, keep going, right, we get everyone, and when you're in that stage, the Giants Raw event, I do believe, should come back again for players, and then at the beginning of the next season. And then again, this allows players even at brand new to the game to not feel punished for not maxing out that King Derek, and they can easily get King Derek maxed out on the second time around, at least then, for their accounts. I would love to have that, and then maybe in the future they can change it, so again, instead of the King Derek, maybe you make a brand new hero that's in that lineage like King Derek, where his origin story is from, and it takes over, right? You could do that, why not, right? So I really like this, really good design, really good concept, and I've added a little bit more onto there, right? So what we're going to do is scroll down here, and Sig Army, the big boy, Sig, has put one in. I really wanted to talk about this at the end of the video, and I am going to make my own video about this because it is right what he's talking about. I don't think it's very fair to add a top-up bonus today, February 3rd, after we've spent so much last week since the beginning of the Lunar New Year event. This is top-up festival bonus, should have been added right at the beginning, and this is kind of aggressive marketing, and I don't think anyone is being blind about it. This is Sig as well, who has got a lot of the sponsors and is a big content creator for Age of Empires Mobile, like myself, coming out, and I am honestly standing by my guy here. I am a content creator, he's a content creator, and I'm going to make my own video about this because I humbly agree about this, right? We're going to put our mark on this to put it at 399 and hopefully get to 400, but I do think it is absolutely unfair that they're bringing out a top-up bundle that wasn't there when it was the massive spending event for the Lunar Festival, where people were spending, where it was absolutely going crazy. So it's super aggressive the way they're playing it. And the thing is, people are, if you've not noticed it, people are willing to spend in Age of Empires Mobile, and they are actually wanting this game to be really good and actually succeed as a Forex city building game. But what we're not blind to is how aggressive they're trying to make the pay to win scheme now already, in the way they're staggering these spending events, right? So I'm going to be talking about it in the video. Keep your eyes out on it, guys, for Age of Empires Mobile. But we've put it there, 400. This is on February the 3rd. Check it out today, guys. And if you go down, there is a couple more to talk about here on there. The one I do want to talk about is no thanks to the devs for that event. No thanks to the free-to-play people out there. No way to get any rewards to an event is rude, inconsiderate, selfish, promoting people to buy packs, to spend money. Very disappointed. This is, again, just talking about what I think we've just gone over. So I think everyone is kind of upset about how things have laid out. So that has been our suggestions from the community. We've gone through what I have talked about, what I would love to see, obviously, in the game. I've thumbed up here. I've given a little bit extra in those suggestions too, so if there is a dev watching this video all the way through and actually listening to the community, reading in the comments down below, they really do get an understanding of what people are thinking, right? And with that, guys, you know what it is. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. It's been me, MrSneakyy, the one and only. And with that, we're going to put that in the bud. So, till the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.